Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be welcoming back my good friend Barbie Wilde, who I like to refer to as the Queen Cenobite. She's the second female Cenobite in Hellraiser 2, Unbound, and I'm having her back on today. She's going to be talking about this book that just came out about the Hellraiser movies. And going to talk to her about that, talk to her about a couple other things and stuff. And it's going to be pretty cool. Barbie's a lot of fun, and she's got a great sense of humor. And I love talking to Barbie. This is the first show I've done since Thanksgiving has happened. I didn't know that the Richard Band show I did was going to be the last one for a week. I thought I was going to have more leading up to Thanksgiving. So, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed turkey with all the trimmings, and you all did Mayflower reenactments and dressed up as pilgrims. I don't know if people actually do that, but so many fucking people dress up and do Civil War reenactments, which I never fucking understood. That's just the weirdest shit ever. But anyways, so here is my new interview with Barbie Wilde. Welcome back, Queen Cenobite.
Hi, Tommy. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm okay. Just sort of still recovering from, I'm just about over the jet lag of, flying to Chicago and back. But it was also, an enormously fun time as well. So, recovering on many different levels, let's just say that.
I'm recovering from Thanksgiving weekend. My belly button went from an innie to an outie because I ate so much.
Oh, God, you see, we don't do that stuff over in Europe,
Yeah.
Christmas is a time that you get bloated and distended, and we just try to avoid that too. I mean, we sort of don't celebrate.
Yeah.
I don't really celebrate Christmas in that way. So,
Nice.
well, I think we still eat and drink. What am I saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to note you know what's happening. But no, we're just always trying not to eat too ridiculously. But of course, what do I say?
Yeah.
It's the excuse you have. But Americans have two huge excuses to eat in an enormous way. Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to Christmas. Last time you were on, you were my 50th guest, and now you're my 315th. I can't believe how many people I've interviewed this year.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, when did you interview me last? Was it not earlier this year? Am I just completely derailed?
It was back in January.
Oh, right. So it's almost been a year. So.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Well, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm so blessed. I tell you, I'm just every day I'm pinching myself like, oh, did I really talk to so-and-so, And, yeah.
It's always fun. And believe me, even if you've sort of been in a couple of movies as I have, you still get kind of, if you meet someone who you admire, you still sort of go, wow, this is listen, it doesn't stop with, just because, even if you're a famous, you're not a famous actor, but if you're a fellow actor, you still sort of go, wow, there's what's his name?
Yeah. It's insane.
Oh no, of course. I was all excited because I got just not excited in that way, but Dirk Benedict was supposed to be at Days of the Dead because I met him many, many years ago in someplace in Holland doing a convention. But of course he had to withdraw because his house was in the line of fire with the fires.
Oh.
Not sure, a few people had to cancel, I guess, this is the right word to use, because of that. Those terrible fires in California.
Yeah.
You were at the
Oh, we had fires over here back in July that was pretty insane. We had to evacuate, but it cleared up within a month. It was pretty bad over here.
Yeah. It's Mother Nature is not behaving, nor should she, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, Dirk Benedict, my parents met him 30 years ago. He came to San Francisco to do the celebrity softball game, and they met him. He was a really nice guy, and I've interviewed his ex-wife, Toni Hudson, a couple times. She's really awesome.
Yeah, he was funny. He's okay. He is a very nice person. Of course, I just met him in the A-Team, and Battlestar Galactica. I know he's done other things, which is really trying to explain. But,
oh, yeah, that's right. He was on Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, you started that, wasn't he? That's the name?
Him and Richard Hatch.
With an eye patch, that's right. Yeah.
He died not too long ago. Yeah. So, tell me about this book about the Hellraiser movies.
Huh?
Wasn't it?
I'm going to reframe that question. I've got an audiobook that's just been released of my Diary of a Serial Killer novel.
Right.
And it's called The Venus Complex, and it's been narrated by Pinhead himself, Doug Bradley.
Right.
And it was pretty, chuffed about the whole project. It's taken a while because I had some sort of time problems, and then Doug did too. But how about just in time for Christmas? Just exactly what you want to read. Just hear Doug's dulcet tones being a serial killer in your ear just before Christmas. But he's done a magnificent job. I'm really pleased. And it was wonderful working with Doug again. He's and I was kind of blessed, he took on a huge job of interpreting the role of my serial killer, and he, occasionally asked for some direction, so I guess I've directed him in that way, but for the most part, I just thought, wow, you've done a brilliant job. So just quite thrilled with that. We've had to tweak the text, which is reflected in the Kindle version, just because I wanted him, and he felt, he could do an American accent, but I just loved the way his normal speaking voice is. So Michael Friday has his formative years in the UK, so that kind of explains his accent. And it's great. We've had a lot of requests for reviews, review copies. So as soon as those start coming out, I'll be posting them. You just have to look at my Facebook page, Barbie.Wilde, or Barbie Wilde, author actress. And of course, follow along on Doug's page as well. There was a lot of interest as well at the convention. So people seem to really like audiobooks now. I don't know, do you like audiobooks?
Oh, yeah. In fact, the last two audiobooks I listened to were Paul Stanley from Kiss did one, and Phil Collins did one recently, and I really enjoyed both of those.
Yeah. Of course, Americans drive so much. I remember when I was in the States, I sometimes would have to drive, 100 miles a day or something to do something. And I think that, it's much more of it might be more of a thing in the United States to listen to audiobooks, because people put them on, and listen to them while they're driving to work, and that could take, an hour or something. So I think it's coming around in Europe as well, in the UK, and people are much more interested in it. But I just love the idea that, again, it's sort of two cenobites have come back together again.
Yeah.
To produce this audiobook. So very excited to see what the reaction will be. And of course, I'm also working on a film with Chris Alexander, Blue Eyes, that sort of moved ahead a little bit as far as funding is concerned. That's based on a short story of mine
Right.
It's surreal. So very bizarre. Fever dream of a film with, transgressional sex in it and all that kind of stuff. It's
Nice.
kind of my little sort of, what do you call it, motif. Not that I mean to write sex scenes or anything when I start out, but that's because I'm writing about humans. It does seem to creep in there all the time. It's humans. Sex, you'd be surprised to know. So those two projects are sort of one's come out now, and Blue Life is on the boil. Hopefully, we'll be going into pre-production maybe early next year. But keep your fingers crossed on that one.
Awesome. Yeah, I was a little confused. I thought that you and Doug collaborated on a book about the Hellraiser movies, and that's why he was doing the audio book and stuff. Because last month,
Obviously, he didn't read the press release, but he was that's really nice. Singing my praises as a writer of disgusting prose. No, of course, I can understand, because I think actually my publisher, Comet Press, the / Red Moon Press, put out something, and she had us as Cenobites. She had photographed us about 2 Cenobites trying to, do this audiobook. And of course, if you just looked at that, you'd go, oh, of course it must be about Hellraiser. But no, it's actually a diary of a serial killer book that prompted Sam Dorian to call me one of the finest purveyors to be brought up to charge for fiction around.
wow.
It's sexy, sick, and twisted, and, if you like serial killers, it's right up your street. But actually, interestingly, just putting in a plug for a friend of mine, Paul Kane wrote a book called The Hellraiser Films and Their Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's supposed to go to, books about the Hellraiser films and, their legacy in cinema and common culture, etc. Also, I did a documentary called Leviathan, the story of Hellraiser 1 and 2, that was put out on DVD, and it's 6 hours of interviews of the cast, the first 2 films. And they released a book, a beautiful book, to go along with it. So if you look up, I think it's Dead Mouse Productions, and they have done a fantastic book. They sort of, they've also done 3 now, TV shows. They're on Amazon Prime. They're called Dark Ditties Presents, and one's called The Offer, in which Simon Bamford, as the Butterball Cenobite, Nick Fitz as Chatterer, Oliver Smith as Skinless Frank, and Ken Clark film. It's about an hour long. And Simon also is in one called Mrs. Wiltshire. So we're all acting together again, which is quite fun. But the same company, which is Dead Mouse Productions, which is Dark Cities, have also done this amazing documentary. And they've done documentaries about Fright Night and several other films, RoboCop. And so what they do is they go and interview people for hours, and you get a real sort of in-depth. It's not just half an hour of extras on the DVD. And so, but the Leviathan one, the story of 1 and 2, was absolutely brilliant, really well done. And I think one of the most interesting was interviewing the man who designed the puzzle box, Simon Faith. Because I had no idea that every one of those little design bits on the actual limit configuration meant something. And he explains what they all mean. So those 2 books are out there if people want to run out and buy them. Highly recommended by moi.
Awesome. Yeah, I will definitely check those out. It's funny. Last month in October, I had about maybe 70 interviews the whole month, and I interviewed a lot of horror people. And about half of them either have books out or have had books out about their lives and the famous horror movies that they're known for. And I didn't ask any of them why they decided to write these books, but it just occurred to me like last week. It's because they didn't know that that the convention circuit was going to become so popular, and they would be doing so many of these things a year. So they wrote a book so they don't have to fucking answer the same questions all the time.
Just read the book.
Right.
Buy the book, and I know that's not a cruel interpretation of that, Tommy. If you don't mind me saying.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, of course, I have a friend of mine who was in Star Wars, and he gets the same questions that you in the costume. How long did it take to get into the costume? What was in there?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Which he did actually me. What was it like meeting Mark Hamill? That kind of thing. And so, it was, but the fact is, the way I look at it, I never I try not to get grumpy because, okay, I've flown a long way to meet folks, but, they've come out and they spent money to buy tickets and, they loved the film I was in. I scared them to death when I was 8 years old. What was their face thinking? That kind of, and I think, wow, that's so lovely. And if they have asked questions, the least I can do is answer them. I haven't written the books, by the way, just to mention this, about my experiences in Hellraiser, because I'm kind of writing a, slightly autobiographical novel at the moment, but it's more to do with something else completely. But, I can, I was also in the Jeffrey Street, as well, which is, no one in the horror world is interested in, but, excuse me. But, I think it's like many claims to fame. But, I think it's because, like I said, if you have to respect your fans and they ask the same questions, then you just give them. I always try to come up with different answers, not too different, obviously, but
Yeah.
Just to try to make it more interesting for them and me. But, so it's a funny thing. But I think actually they probably have seen that it is, lucrative. I sell my books at conventions, mostly just to spread the word that I've written two books, the Diary of a Serial Killer novel,
Right.
and my collection of short horror stories called Voices of the Damned. I hope you like that subject.
I like that.
Three female cannibal stories in it. So I was more interested in the fact that the female cannibal. But a lot of people are unaware that I've written two books. But like I said, people were very excited about the audio book doing it, because he's done a huge amount of audio books. Guillermo de Toro has just called them, his collection Spine Children, remarkable, because he's done Howard Barker and, a lot of classic kind of horror stuff. And, so that's why people are excited about it.
Yeah, I used to read a lot about real life serial killers and stuff years ago, and so I've always been fascinated by it. When you write these books and you write all the sexual stuff, do you ever like draw on personal experience?
I'm not going to tell you that. Basically, when I wrote my serial killer book, because I was exploring his sexual landscape, I had to be a guy, and I was writing down this stuff. I created a character, the male serial killer, and I inhabited his skin, right? So what I had to do was read, I read books by serial killers, and, read about their sexual fantasies, and read, forensic textbooks about, people who have treated virtually. You can't treat someone who's a psychopath, because most of the psychopaths are a psychopath. But, and also I knew someone who's one of the most notorious dominatrixes in New York, and she gave me a huge amount of insight into what men in general actually think about women and all this sort of stuff. And so I used my, I just did a lot of research. I also had a lot of disturbing dreams, because you can imagine that when you read a book, like there's a book called Lust Lord, that was just the writings of serial killers. You finish reading a book like that, and whoa, mama, the dreams that you It's, I mean, that kind of question is the kind of question that I think somebody asked that of Thomas Harris. They said, "Oh, you must have feelings like your sexual fantasies, like your characters in your books, because you've written about them so feelingly." And he just never did another interview again, because he actually used to be the crime reporter, so he knows about all these things. Not that I'm not going to obviously do an interview, but just because one is writing these things doesn't mean that one is, wow, I want to do this, I want to do that. But interesting, my dominatrix friend said the greatest sexual fantasy was to sleep with a serial killer. And that's what kept the whole train of thought along about the book. I thought it was, what a horrible thing to say, I said to her. And then I had this horrible dream, and then the next day I thought, I've got to write a book about serial killers, because they're fascinating. I've been reading books about them for, a long time, I've read so many books about them, because I want to understand them, and you never will, really.
Mm-hmm.
Facts of the matter. It's interesting, but it's like I said before, if you, say I'm writing a story about, I don't know, any character, whether it's a witch or a demon or if it's got any kind of human attributes, there's going to be sex involved, because humans are interested in sex. No matter how much Americans and British people let us carry that little fact, the fact is that humans are very interested in sex. The Anglo-Saxon world is just totally embarrassed about sex, but I don't care. I think it's very interesting about how different cultures view sex. People in the south of Europe are very much more, and funnily enough, Scandinavians are totally relaxed about sex.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it seems, I don't know if it's a religious thing or whatever, it's the idea of being embarrassed about sex. And I just think, well, it's all part and parcel of being human. So if I'm writing a horror story, it does have a tendency to get in there, simply because if my characters are pursuing some thing, you might have a sexual encounter. So there you go.
Yeah, I actually dated a former dominatrix about 4 or 5 years ago, and she was a lot of fun. I'll tell you, she was.
Yes.
She was.
Well, they're very interesting people, and you could say, "Oh, well, they say men at their worst or whatever," and it's like, no, it's sort of like, wow. What you can say is that it's not all the missionary position. It's that people's fantasies do the whole 360 gamut of interesting lists. And I just think, wow, this is so fascinating. The story she told me, which of course is confidential. You just have to, I don't know, I just find it terribly interesting. I think if I hadn't been an actress, I probably would have gone into psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Because I find the way the human mind works is so fascinating. And little games that we use to fool ourselves. I mean, my friend had a master's degree in human sexuality, and she's aiming for her master's in forensic psychology. She was a really smart person. And so I think that, and she thought all this would, help her in her quest to, she considered herself a sexual therapist as much as any person with a, doctor's degree would. Except her methods were a little bit more,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
I don't want to think people out there to think that Barbie just writes about sex. Obviously not. It's just, to me, if you're exploring someone's mind, this comes across. It's also, the Venus complex is also full of, rants about art and society and politics and stupidity and the great oppressive viruses of mankind, which are stupidity, ignorance, nationalism, and all the other things. And everyone seems to be, oh, God, you see what's happening now in the world. And what I thought when I wrote the book a few years ago is how people would think it's controversial. And I had so many people agreeing with my serial killer, I was getting a little worried Because I thought what he was saying was quite frisky, about, the state of the planet. But a lot of people agreed. Of course, that doesn't mean it's right or wrong. But anyway, it's an interesting book. Go out and get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. Venus complex.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to check it out. There's something I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you this the first time, but I can't believe I forgot because I do thorough research, and then there's sometimes when I'm so friggin' tired I forget to write stuff down. Did you sing backup on the theme song to Morons from Outer Space?
Yes, it's there in IMDb. I don't know why I put it in there, but I was working with two producers at the time, John Walters and Richard Burgess. And they're doing my own stuff. I was, singing, making demos. I got kind of close to signing a deal with EMI. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, I put up, it's all up on my YouTube channel, Barbie Wilde. In one song, was called Phantom Lady. And I got interviewed, I think it was last year, just fairly recently. And somebody said, I just wanted to say Phantom Lady is the great, lost track of the 80s. And I went, oh my God, thank you. But anyway, they said, listen, we're working with Gracie Jones and Mel Smith on this crazy movie called Morons from Outer Space. Mm-hmm. And they're doing the theme tune. I need some female vocals. And so I came in. I think I said hi to them. They were leaving. And then I just, we're morons. Let's do the other thing. All this sort of stuff. So that's just me singing in the background. And then, of course, I actually sort of was in the movie for about 5 minutes as an angry, proud member throwing rocks at the aliens or something. I don't know.
Oh, I got to go back and watch it.
That was before. I don't think he'd spot me. I was just sort of an angry, proud person. But that was before. Gosh, when was Morons from Outer Space? That's when I was still doing sort of, not quite, not work that was featured, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I think it was before, or at the same time, or just before Death Wish 3 and Hellraiser. And so I've been in that many movies that I was featured, but that was it has actually nothing connected with it. My agent sent me to do that job, and then, I was talking to Richard and John, and they said, oh, can you sing some backup? So, yes. You hear any little female warbling on that? I mean, I haven't even heard it in ages. That was, any female warbling on that theme tune is mine. So, there you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I used to watch that movie like every other day on HBO when I was a kid back in the late 80s.
Oh, my God. It's not the best of films I seem to remember, but, my God, I haven't seen it in about 30 years. So, it's an amazing concept because I think Bill Hicks actually mentions it in his stand-up routine.
Yeah, he did.
Why did we always assume that, aliens are going to be really smart. They took us to, really morons from outer space, come in and, he's sort of very rude about it. But, it's this idea that they don't necessarily have to be uber smart. But then again, if they're building spaceships, they have to have some kind of smartness, I suppose. That outweighs ours, because they got here before we got there, if you know what I mean. But, it's a cute concept, and they were adorable in it.
Oh, yeah, Mel Smith was an underrated genius. I was really shocked when he died.
Oh, no, wasn't that sad? No, he was lovely. And, it's always sad when people sort of go before their time, as he did. But, he was absolutely genius. I mean, he was very popular in the UK. Mm-hmm. And with Gracie Jones. Of course, I remember seeing them in, I can't remember the name of the TV show there. They had a TV show with Not the 9 o'clock news. That's what it's called, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm just looking it up there to make sure. And that was hysterical. I actually saw, not the 9 o'clock news, that's it. No, there's Reese Jones, Ron Atchison, Pamela Stevenson, a bunch of other people. So, and then, you know what she's doing now?
Well, what?
Pamela Stevenson. She is actually a psychologist now.
Oh, actually, I think I read that somewhere. Yeah, she is.
She's married to the comedian Billy Connolly, and she is it was quite wonderful.
Yeah.
But she was I met her a couple of times. She's a very, very, very smart person. So I can see why she did that. Yeah, that was about it, actually. Those are the cast members. And a lot of people appeared on the show. So, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was a kid, my brother he had that he had the poster for the movie, and he had all the Thorne MI, all the movies that were released by Thorne MI and HBO Video. When we were kids, he had like all of them. He had Return of the Living Dead and Howling 2. They were all released by Thorne MI HBO back in those days.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I haven't seen it since it's come out. So I can't remember that much of it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, definitely, though.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
See if I can hear myself singing on the theme, too.
So, you had fun at Days of the Dead in Chicago?
Yes, it was great. And, well, of course, Clive Barker was there as well. Although we didn't see that much of him, but we do always have a chance for a chat.
Mm-hmm.
And, but no, it was great. And Ashley Lawrence as well. So it was 3 Cenobites. Doug has decided not to do it this year. He might be doing another one, but I think it's a pretty good schedule for next year as well. So keep an eye out. So the Cenobites will be descending upon in various forms upon different conventions next year. Although, funnily enough, this year is the year that Hellraiser 2 came out. Hellraiser 2. But we did have an extraordinary, very popular appearance with the four of us. It was Clive at Texas Frightmare.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That was a nice little, tip of the hat to the fact that it's been 30 years since I've trod the boards as a female Cenobite.
Yeah.
The trod the linoleum or whatever they put in the film studio. It's not trod the boards, but...
Yeah, I just found out Doug and Ashley both got booked for Sinister Creature Con in Sacramento next June, and I'm looking forward to that because I was supposed to go see them in April at Monsterpalooza, and then I couldn't make it and stuff, but I hope you get booked as well as somewhere in California next year.
Yeah, what's it called again?
It's called Sinister Creature Con in Sacramento, California.
Oh, Sinister.
Yeah.
Sinister Creature Con. No,
Yeah.
It sounded like you were saying Sister Creature Con, and I went, oh, that's interesting.
No. They do have a sister one, though, in the fall.
Sorry?
They do have a sister con in the fall.
Oh, I see. Okay. And that's in June. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, that would be great. And I also see Joy Lauren Adams was on the lineup as well. I had such a crush on her when I was like 13.
And I'm sorry, didn't catch the name. Who was that?
Joey Lauren Adams.
What film is she in? Are you talking about the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Julie Adams, or somebody else?
Oh, no. Joey Lauren Adams. She was in...
Joey, sorry. We haven't done a very good connection.
Yeah.
That's my excuse. Sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, she was in all the Kevin Smith movies like Chasing Amy and Mallrats.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. No, of course. Yeah, those are great films.
And
I understand the crush.
Oh yeah, I would. God, I would. To this day, I would still invite her back to my place for morning after pills.
Nice. Not going to get far with that line.
I oh God, I'm not gonna name names, but there was a scream queen. I jokingly said that to her on what was it, Facebook or Twitter, one of the two, and oh, she got mad. She blocked me.
Yeah, you got to be careful about these Me Too times. But, I just, I think it's difficult. I mean, I feel sorry for guys, and I had a friend of mine actually who said that she thought that the Venus complex was a pop class. She liked it. She thought it was Baroque and all this sort of stuff. But she said, I can't believe you wrote that book. But, it's just, also, it's a difficult thing. If you feel threatened by someone,
Mm-hmm.
fine. But you have to have, I think, especially as a woman, a sense of humor. But, things that, some horrible things happened. And I think people are just uber sensitive about it, But, I gave you my advice.
Oh, I appreciate.
I wouldn't try that line on her.
Yeah,
So,
but
no, it's,
uh, I appreciate that, Barbie. I've been so lucky though. I've had guests like yourself, female guests who are not easily offended, and they take all my jokes with a grain of salt, and they know that I'm a good person. They know that I'm not a creep or anything. So I've been very lucky.
well, I won't go that far. No, I'm not turning it back again, Jeff. Listen to Jeff. No, of course. It is, obviously you like to push the envelope and make jokes and stuff like that. And so it's and sometimes people do get offended. But, some of my favorite, when you look back in the olden days,
Yeah.
going back to Don Rickles and all these people, the Prince of Jonathan Winters, actually, he was really rude. Actually, when he did his stand-up, once he got his own TV show, he had to tone it down. But,
Yeah.
people like Don Rickles and all these comedians were actually very sort of pushing the envelope. And when you think about Bill Hicks, my God.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. That's my big sadness. I wish I'd seen Bill live. I still think he's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
And, he often talks about, not to get too, graphic, but sexual matters. I just thought it was hilarious. But I think the thing is, times change sometimes, so we have to be more aware of people's sensibilities.
Right.
So, it's, because I've had some moments, the Me Too moments in my career. Very seldom, actually, I have to say. I'm very lucky. Personally, walking down the street, creeps would sort of come up and, because I had blue hair and wearing silver leather mini skirts and fishnet pencil stilettos. I thought I was fabulous. I thought I was like a pop star, but, guys have different ideas, and you just have to deal with it. And, I've taken kung fu classes, and I knew what to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah. But, nowadays it doesn't go to what I would do. But I think that, of course, nowadays, because of a certain age, it's not a problem. But I think that, you have to be sort of aware of these things. And, but I just said, oh, this next, and then when it all came true, and I was actually nominated, asked about an interview for a documentary about women in horror and your experiences and stuff, and I just thought, it's very interesting because I just dealt with it as a director, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought, hey, what the heck, next, you just have to go on. And it didn't happen again. So I think because I don't know if I sort of give out some different vibes than other people or something. But also, interesting was when I was doing this acting, I was a lot older than some of these women who are now complaining about how they were sort of approached by people when they were 18 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference. I was going to university when I was 18 or 19, and then I was a mime artist, and believe me, no one tries to It's probably the least sexy occupation you can do is being a mime artist. So,
Yeah.
was doing that classically trained for, a couple of years. And I don't know if it's the white faces or leg warmers, but, it was like a wonderful, it was like wearing being a knight in shining armor, but with white face.
Are you saying you scared guys?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. It seemed like such a good idea at the time. But the training was great, and I always say that's probably one of the reasons I got cast as the female Cenobite, because Clive Barker was very interested in mime. And mime teaches you how to be still.
Mm-hmm.
Teaches you how to be centered. So does acting, of course. But, I've been mostly trained as a dancer, so I understand it as a very different thing. The thing about the Cenobites is they don't run through the forest taking you with a chainsaw. They just stand there and look sinister and talk with you. And you've got to look like you mean it. You've got to look imperious and strong and centered. And that's what mine helped me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, my life, I didn't say that. Was it you who asked me how did I prepare for my big screaming scene in Deathless 3?
Yes, that was me.
Okay, let me answer your question. I was in terror of my life and career when I screamed. Because Michael Weiner, the director, came up to me and said, Donna, darling, we don't have any money, so you get one take. Right? What? And the wall was exploding outwards. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a bunch of cameras, and basically Gavin O'Herlihy was being shot out of the wall with Charles Bronson's Gatling gun or whatever the hell his big gun was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing was the cameras were all, centered on the wall where this huge explosion of bricks spraying out was going to be. And then on my I can't remember if it was actually at the same time, but basically at that time I had to stand up and scream and run towards the body of my boyfriend because they had been shot out of the building. Now I can't remember if actually it was all done at the same time or whether Michael Winter just said, listen, you've got one take on this because I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
It was one of those terribly fraught moments where I had to look like I was really sort of relaxed and just plotting horrible things against the neighbors because that's what I was, I was a female thug. And then leaping to my feet and screaming. So it was the fear of the director saying, Bobby, you blew it. No second take for you. That made me terrified. And I gave good school.
Oh, God.
So there you go.
The famous stories I have heard about Michael Winter, my favorite one, somebody on the set, I guess it was his production assistant or somebody, grabbed his megaphone and put shoe polish on it, so when he talked out of it, he would have a big old, mouth full of shoe polish.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, I wonder who that was. Because I knew several of his assistants. Goodness gracious me. The thing was, with Michael Winter, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even laugh, because he was a jokester himself, or that person would have gotten fired.
Yeah.
There's nothing in between. But he did have a very waspish sense of humor, and you had to be aware of that. I think that you just, that he wasn't necessarily being horrible, although he could be horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, he had a short temper, and he didn't suffer fools gladly, and he just wanted to make sure everything was, he always came in under budget, under time.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. He was a brisk, no messing about kind of director.
Mm-hmm.
And, the first kind of, I think a friend of mine said one of his favorite films was Whatever Happened to What's His Name or something, which is this wonderful film. So, then all of a sudden he's kind of doing, films that could be considered, the classics now, I suppose, the B-movie kind of violent thrillers and stuff.
Yeah.
But, he was very efficient at what he did.
Yeah.
in essence. Which is, of course, when you're on a movie, you just say, oh, well, I'll put the motion screwing up, No, you do not. You do not have the luxury of screwing up. No one said it better than Spencer Tracy. You learn your lines and don't bump into the furniture. As another friend of mine said, they often, and he is a star.
Yeah.
He said, that you're the least, as far as everybody else is concerned, actors are sort of like well down the food chain. I want to make sure their shots are beautiful and stuff, and that's why you've got to know exactly what you're doing. Because if you screw up, it's terrible. If the lighting guy screws up, that's when you set the lights. You screwed up your light. Yeah. So, obviously, if you're a superstar, that's different. But I think you really have to be on the ball if you're sort of on the Midland level.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a story behind my screen.
Yeah, Spencer Tracy also said, acting is an easy job, just don't get caught doing it.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Exactly.
Yeah.
See, what that means to me is that you can grab the cat and get it and stuff like that. But if I'm looking at someone and go, oh my God, is he overacting? I can see him acting. That's different. By the way, I don't know if you've caught this.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin in the Kaminsky Method?
No, I heard it's good, though. I heard it's really good.
It's brilliant. If you have I just was weeping. And also, it's very funny and very poignant as well. Crying and laughing. Oh, fantastic. And so the first monologue that Michael Douglas has on acting, because he plays his acting coach in Hollywood, is one of the best things I've ever heard about acting. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't know if that's for you. Honestly, it's absolutely worth seeing, and just so wonderful seeing something that's so honest. And he's great. Now in Arkansas, fabulous. I mean, it's got all these sort of cameos from big stars in it too, which is fun.
Oh, nice.
Highly recommend it.
Nice. I will check that out. I wanted to ask you, one thing I found out on Facebook a few months ago, we share a common interest. We both love Robert Mitchum.
Oh, God, yeah. Actually, adore him. Have you read Baby, I Don't Care?
Oh, yes, I have.
Oh, good for you. Oh, boy. Because a lot of people don't know about that particular book. I mean, it is an absolutely lovingly written film biography of the man.
Right.
And it's really, I thought, very entertaining. And, oh, boy, it just made me love him even more. Yeah. So what's your favorite Mitchum film?
My favorite Mitchum film? Oh, my God. I love Cape Fear. I love Night of the Hunter, which was his favorite movie he ever did.
Yeah.
Thunder Road. What else? God, he's got so many. There's this one he did in the 80s. It was one he did with Rock Hudson called The Ambassador.
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it was a canon film, actually. And what's his name? J. Lee Thompson, who also directed Charles Bronson action movies, and he directed Robert Mitchum and Cape Fear. He directed it. And Ellen Burstyn's in it, too. It's a really good movie.
Wow, I'll check that out. Well, I like his more sort of noirish thing. Oh, God. Oh, here I am again. Get back to IMDb. His Kind of Woman. Have you seen that one?
Yep.
Yeah, with is it Jane Russell? Yes.
Yep.
Vincent Price?
Yep.
I love that one. And, sorry, Perry Mason himself.
Oh, Raymond Burr.
1951, that's it. It's just, she walks in and he's ironing his money.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he ironing his money? It's never explained. But he's just so good for that. I mean, I love all of his sort of kind of B-movie films that he did. Out of the Past, of course, is good.
Oh, yeah.
He knows Mr. Allison is good. But I think, I do love the ones that are sort of slightly
yeah. He was on the Dick Cavett show in 1971, and he told Dick Cavett that he hated all the movies he made for RKO in those first 10 years or so because he just thought that he thought that they were just, terrible, lousy films. But then he says once he got out of his contract and he could go free agent, he said he was happy with a lot of the films he did after that.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. Another one I like a lot is Second Chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's Linda Darnell and Jack Palance is the bad guy. He's completely sort of chewing the furniture. Have you seen that one?
What's it called?
Second Chance.
Second Chance. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen a lot of more of his obscure stuff. But, obviously, as he got older, he got more stuff like, The Longest Day and things like that. Of course, he's wonderful in El Dorado.
Oh, yeah.
Heads of Eddie Coyle. So I'm just looking at his
I can't believe he didn't get an Academy Award.
You mentioned The Ambassador. Oh, The Ambassador, 1984.
Yes. I can't believe...
It's an Elmore Leonard novel. Ooh.
Yeah. It's Elmore Leonard. Yeah, I can't believe he didn't get an Academy Award nomination for Ryan's Daughter.
Well, I think the Academy, what can you do?
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that don't make sense as far as I'm concerned about nominations and winners. But he got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for G.I. Joe.
Yes.
It was like one of his first big roles, as you know, because he read the book. And he said, well, the Academy just tried once, and they washed their hands of me. But no, I think he might have annoyed a few people, and of course he did have that little arrest problem.
Yeah.
Naughty Bob. It's interesting because he passed away, and then Jimmy Stewart passed away.
Yeah, the next day.
The fuss about Jimmy Stewart, and I do love Jimmy Stewart. He was a wonderful actor, but hardly anybody paid attention to Bob's passing. And I felt really sad because I thought this is a man who had such an interesting background, and what he really wanted to do was write poems, and he was an extraordinary character. And of course, Jimmy Stewart knows much more high-profile films, and in so many Hitchcock films as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Jimmy Stewart guy. Like, oh my God, like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie of his I didn't love.
Hitchcock?
Hitchcock and Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I've seen some films of Jimmy Stewart, so I haven't liked, but Hitchcock is absolutely, I love his work. I don't know if you've seen a film called Hitchcock, where Anthony Hopkins plays him, and it's all about the making of Psycho.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that a recent one?
It's about the last 5 years, I guess. Helen Mirren plays his wife, Alma.
Oh, nice.
It's absolutely Scarlett Johansson is Janet Leigh. I think she gets every mannerism of Janet Leigh. Just brilliant. And I can't recommend it more if you're a lover of Hitchcock, especially if you love Psycho, because no one wanted him to make that film.
Yeah.
He had to mortgage his house to make that film.
Right. I interviewed Janet Leigh's double, Marley Renfro.
Oh, wow. Yeah?
Yeah, I interviewed her. We talked for like an hour and a half. She was so delightful and pleasant, and I was fawning over her for comedy effect, and I don't know, I think she got a little uncomfortable. She was a little silent in certain parts, but it turned out to be a good interview. She was very informative. She was telling me about what Playboy was like when she was there in the early 60s and stuff. It was a really good interview.
Well, it must have been very interesting playing with her, Janet Leigh. I've seen Body Double in Psycho, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, Janet Leigh actually spent a lot of time in that shower. I mean, it took a week to do. And she went home and slept for the whole weekend because she I think if you love Hitchcock, you'd love the film Hitchcock. And Anthony Hopkins really gets Hitchcock down pat, especially his voice. It's wonderful. God, it makes me want to watch the film again. But, just absolutely worthwhile watching.
Awesome. Yeah. God, Robert Mitchum. Yeah, he did so many great movies though, and yeah, he was a one of a kind, and he was just so underrated.
Yeah. Well, believe me, there's a lot of actors out there that I adore, and it's a tough profession. I mean, 95% of people registered with Actors Equity, or 92% or something, are out of work at any one time. So, it's a tough profession, and it's what I say to people when they say, do you have any advice to give to people? I just use that thing for Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender. So what you want to do is to write or to act or to direct movies. Just keep on with your dreams. But it's really hard, because especially, I think, with the writing and directing where women is concerned, it's still very difficult to make a mark, although, gosh, in the last 10 years it's exploded with the amount of female directors that are coming forward and finally getting the knowledge for their work, or getting out there, or being given the opportunity to direct big budget movies or even small budget movies. So, it's a tough business.
Yeah, doing stand-up comedy as long as I have, of course, everybody wants to be a comedian, and so they ask me for advice, right? And I just tell them, don't stay in one place too long. Go, around, and find, various clubs to go perform at and stuff, because it's a cutthroat industry, and write every day, write your material every day, go up on stage at least 2-3 nights, 2 or 3 times, 7 nights a week, and just hone your craft, basically. But it's a very tough job to get into.
Yeah, when I was on the plane, I actually saw a documentary about Robin Williams, and I only just watched the first 20 minutes of it, but it was someone who was just like Bill Hicks. I mean, Bill Hicks started doing stand-up when he was 12.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams started doing it very young as well. But then, of course, he got, Morphin Mindy, and which was, first he was on Happy Days or something. He was on Happy Days. Just seeing all this stuff I'd forgotten. He'd done, obviously not Morphin Mindy, but the Happy Days thing. And then they gave him his own show,
Mm-hmm.
And he's obviously was just this person who burned so bright, full of his observational comedy, and it was quite extraordinary. It's the same with Bill Hicks. So, but they were working all the time. So that's exactly what you have to do. You have to, now you're making me feel guilty because I'm not writing as much as I should be.
No.
I've got a lot of, things on the boil that I have to start buckling down and concentrating on. But it reminds me, oh gosh.
Do you write like one book?
Story. Email my friend. You emailed me a week ago. Oh God, asked me how he was doing. But it is these post-it notes of my friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's this idea of you just have to be concentrated and directed and disciplined about writing and getting things out there for you, performing and stuff. And because the audience is your great, a comedian. Actually, this wonderful story, a murder mystery called A Comedian Dies. And, of course, that is the American expression too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You die on stage, no one's laughing at you. This comedian really died, unfortunately. But this idea of how you learn your trade is by finding out what works in front of a live audience. Is the only way. You could be the king of comedy in front of a mirror, but you have to get out there and just try it out on an audience. And that's hard work, and it takes a lot of bravery
Mm-hmm.
I salute your bravery, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm just so blessed the things that I get to do and stuff, especially after my car accident a couple of years ago.
Oh gosh, I didn't. So when was that?
In January of 2015.
Wow. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But the best thing you can do, once you recover from your physical injuries, is to go back and do things and get your confidence back. So it is, you've done the right thing by going back to work, and it must be very difficult recovering from something like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, lots of injuries, and I'm so lucky to be alive. I was in a coma for 30 days.
Oh my God! Oh, geez! Wow!
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
You had any interesting dreams, or did you not remember anything?
Let's see. I know I blacked out because this was all alcohol induced, but when I was in the coma, I just kept. I just remember just feeling like why aren't I waking up? And my mom, she had some spiritual channeling um, while she was at home or in her car, and she felt that like I was in the car with her and my uncle who died 5 years before I was born. Like she believes that he's my guardian angel,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I mean it was just pretty insane, And I've had some supernatural encounters since it's happened.
Right. So you saw ghosts or something, or?
Oh yeah, I went to the Comedy Store in West Hollywood, and that place is haunted anyways because it used to be a mafia-owned speakeasy back in the day, and I just felt the presence of dead comedians in there, and just I felt I felt like I belonged there. It was like The Shining, like I'd always been there, type of thing, and I just saw this like smoky debris coming from the neon light and stuff, and it was weird, but I felt very safe and comfortable in there. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything scary, And then when I went back a year later, I see all the headshots of all the famous comedians on the wall, and I realized those pictures are pretty fucking spooky because
Yeah.
you see comedians when they were young, before they were famous, and then you see people you never even heard of, and you think, whatever happened to these people? How many of them are still alive?
Yeah, the little voice is still in the ether, trying to make people laugh. I don't know. I think if I was going to believe in any spiritual entity, it probably would be ghosts, simply because, I don't know why. There are so many different dimensions and stuff. You just don't know what happens when we die, for sure. I mean, obviously, if I don't believe in, afterlife or anything like that, then, it's a difficult one. But I think there were going to be ghosts. Then that was good. If I was going to believe in anything supernatural like that, it probably would be ghosts. Because I've had some weird things happen, some audio hallucinations mostly. But that could just be, who knows? Like I said, I'm writing, did I mention this before? My next novel is going to be a ghost story.
Uh-huh.
A real life ghost story. So.
Do you write? do you write like one book a year now?
No. I've been very lax because, like I said, because I've been working on several different projects. I don't, basically the short story collection took a year to put together, because not only were there stories that I had two new ones that were in there, but also because I had to contact all the artists, because every story is illustrated by, with the exception of two from Clyde Bosser, story is illustrated by an original artwork by top artists in the genre.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got people like Nick Percival, who did the covers for the Boom comics, the Boom Hellraiser comics, and Daniel Serra, and Olin Vincent Sammy, Tara Bush, Eric Gross, Clive Barker, Steve McGuinness, Ben Baldwin, maybe everyone thinks, oh, I always do this, and then I'm in terror that I might forget someone. But, because they're all wonderful. The art is so beautiful. And they read the story, and then they, if I mention Vincent Sam, because he's also done the poster for Blue Eyes, this movie that I'm writing with Chris Alexander. But, they read the story, and they came up with the artwork. Occasionally I might get a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But, it's just like, wow, you just came up with this. I didn't have to give you any sort of direction whatsoever. And you came up with this brilliant artwork. And it's just amazing. So, something like that takes a year to do. So that's, so just adding up. I think I did get everybody. So that takes a lot of time. For me, writing takes a lot of time. But also, I've kind of felt a little bit bereft of inspiration, even though I've sort of got the script half finished. My zombie script is half finished, Zoom Zombies. But I've also been working on 2 projects with my partner, and also, writing the script for Blue Eyes with Chris Alexander. So, I'm poodling along, but a book that's a big job. That's, takes a while for me to do. I mean, it took a long time for me to write the Venus Complex. Some people can just put them out in a couple of months, but I think it was Hemingway who wrote The Old Man and the Sea in 6 weeks.
Wow.
You got a Pulitzer Prize for it.
Wow.
So, that's rare.
Yeah, I wrote 2 drafts of the script. The second draft, I'm really much in love with it. The only time I would ever write more is if I got paid to. If somebody wants to buy it. It's about a lesbian Catholic schoolgirl who moves into this apartment complex that's being haunted by her imaginary friend from childhood, who used to be a security guard at that apartment complex. It was influenced by me moving into this apartment complex, and there was all these trespassing teenagers coming to the swimming pool and the hot tub in the summertime that made me want to write it. And I just...
Oh, it's horrible. I thought, actually, funny enough, one of my worst nightmares is home invasion, and I just really hate the idea of people coming into my property.
Right.
So I did mention all the artists, by the way. I just checked. Nick, Danny, Steve, Tara, Ben, Clive, Eric. I did mention them all. But no, I think, the idea of somebody coming into my staff place, and they know you were there and they're still coming in, that's really horrible. So anyway.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm afraid I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Actually, that sounds good. You could have cheered me.
Well, before you do, I got this funny joke for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, and one more question if you want as well. So.
Okay. Well, let me tell you the joke first.
Okay.
Okay. Cinderella is about to go to the ball, and she's on her period. The fairy godmother gives her these magic tampons and says, "You have to be home by midnight or else they'll turn into a pumpkin." And Cinderella's like, "Okay, fairy godmother, I will." Well, 12:30 rolls around. She hasn't come home yet. Fairy godmother's pacing around the house angry. And then around 2:30, Cinderella shows up stumbling drunk. And Fairy godmother says, "Where were you? You were supposed to be home by midnight." And Cinderella's like, "I'm sorry, fairy godmother. I met this great guy and we danced all night. His name was Peter Peter." Get it?
I'm so sorry, I don't get it.
Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Oh. Okay. That's a gloomy laugh.
I,
yeah, that's so right. Yeah, right, kid.
that's one of my favorite jokes.
Actually, it's a very good joke. It's pretty good. It's rude, but hey, it's okay. But I'm sorry I could put Hall, but of course, I'd forgotten about Peter Peter Pumpkin Eater.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You know what, it's funny because I was looking at Facebook or something, and somebody put up a meme, and it's like, I don't get this. But I'm too embarrassed to say I don't get this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably your worst audience because there are a lot of jokes I don't get. I don't know, what can I say? But anyway, I thought it was very good.
It's probably lack of concentration, but
Oh, no, see, on my viewpoint, absolutely, and I just totally blame jet lag. It takes me about a week to get over a convention now, and to put it down to being a certain age, as someone said. But it's very tiring, and
yeah.
I only sleep for about 4 hours a night.
Wow.
So by the end, it's really psychotic time.
Do you go party after your signing?
Oh, I think if I can just get a glass of wine and a meal, that's the most exciting thing. Some of these things go to like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
And then afterwards, it's just, and I think actually I did sort of go through, just make an appearance for the VIP party and stuff, but it was, I always try and do that, but, it's not kind of a partying kind of thing for me, because it's very tiring, because you meet a lot of people during the day, and I try and give everybody, a huge amount of my psychic energy, and so it's just a quiet meal and a glass of wine, and then I go to bed, and I wake up at 4 in the morning and curse jet lag. So by Sunday, it's just I'm very, very tired. And then, of course, it's just right home. So I'm probably making much too much of a meal of this story. Anyway,
do volunteers come?
Telling me your joke.
Yes.
Maybe the next time we see each other, I'll try and find a joke to tell you that might make you laugh. Well, my jokes are just really bad. Actually, I can't tell jokes, to be honest.
No, but you are pretty funny.
Sorry?
I said you are pretty funny, though.
Oh, thank you. My humor is more of the observational kind.
Yeah.
But jokes are just like, oh gosh, that's just, and you have to make them up too. I mean, gee, again, my hat is tipped to you, sir. And
thank you.
Thanks for wanting to interview me again, and for letting me, as we call it over in the UK, we call it book painting.
Book painting.
Or I like to treasure on the books, right? This is what I've been writing for. So I suppose Americans would call it, what would you call it? Promotion.
Yes, press.
Yes. That's a little grown up way of putting it. But,
well, Barbie.
basically, it's just tossing your wares around, so.
Barbie, you are so awesome. Thank you so much. And I want to do this again next year when you have your next book coming out, or maybe before that. Maybe you got a convention appearance or something.
Okay, well, listen, what I'll do is I'll keep in touch with you and let you know if anything exciting happens. And a lot
Awesome, awesome. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you as well. You take care of yourself. And thanks again.
My pleasure.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Barbie Wilde. Ain't she a sweetheart? Yes, I mean that. Barbie, you are a sweetheart, and you're so much fun, and you're hilarious, and I just can't get enough. I can't get enough of you, and I can't wait to meet you at a convention next year and talk to you again. It's going to be fucking awesome. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.